Chillin' with Larry Megan.
Well, here we are, chilling with Larry Megan on a Thursday night. Welcome to the show. What a game that's going on out there. If you're a Boston Celtic fan, sorry about that. It looks, although the game is not officially over, there's probably about 3 minutes to go. But it looks like about a 20-point lead, Maddie?
Yes.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a Game 7 on, I assume that's going to be Saturday night, right?
Yep.
Saturday night, Game 7. And, Maddie, you got your headset on? Yeah, because, I was thinking, I thought I'd just chat with you for a second. Matty is a huge basketball fan. He played college basketball. So we like to talk hoops a little bit. Tell me, you got a hot microphone, Matty?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I told you, I'm pulling for Miami just because I want to see LeBron get his ring. And, but I do like Boston. It's hard not to like the Celtics. Everything they stand for, they play the game the right way. Rondo is unbelievable. But what do you think about this game tonight, Maddie?
I think it showed what the Heat are all about this year. They have their backs against the ropes, and they came out and they won by 20 points.
And who are you pulling for?
I'm pulling for Miami Heat.
And you have been pretty much all season, not just in these playoffs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of your team. Yeah, well, I'm glad LeBron showed up. Now, I've been in here getting prepared for tonight's show and everything. So last I heard, LeBron had like 30 at halftime.
He last time I saw, he had 45 points, 14 rebounds.
45 points with what, 5 minutes to go, or?
Yeah. No, it was like 2 minutes left.
Wow, big night for LeBron James. So anyway, I've really been into the playoffs this year. It's been a great playoff run. Of course, my team is the Lakers. They got blown out. One thing these playoffs have showed, Maddie, is that the Lakers are a far cry from even being competitive. I know I got a guest tonight, and we're going to get to him in a minute, but Clarke Wilson. Let's introduce Clarke real quickly, guys. I was going to bring you in after that, but you know what? No. The thing is this. Clarke's been an old friend of mine from Los Angeles. He happens to be out here in Minneapolis for his daughter's graduation and a lot of other things he's visiting. Yeah. And I'm really glad you stopped in to see me, Clarke. It's
Thank
great.
You,
but do you get into the Lakers at all back there?
I get during the playoffs.
Only during the playoffs?
Only during the playoffs.
I know you're a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
I know. But you mentioned the Kings, though.
Oh, the Kings. Hey, listen, the Kings. The Kings are the new Lakers in L.A. We got one more game to go Saturday night. They're absolutely, positively, unequivocally, without question, going to do it.
That would be nice. You may not know this, Clarke, but I had season seats to the Kings for 4 years.
You did?
Yes, I did. 1976 through 1980. And in 4 years, I only missed 2 home games. I was so addicted to the Kings. I had, right on the blue line, about 15 rows up from the glass.
Wow.
Those were the days of Marcel Dion and Butch Goring and Tommy Williams and Mike Murphy. And, man, I used to love the Kings. I'd always take my wife on Saturday nights, and then during the week games, I'd take different friends to the games. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I walked out of that building, the Forum, just so depressed. Because the Kings had a real knack of losing games, big games, in the last minute, okay? They really did. And then, of course, they had a whole renaissance in the 90s with Wayne Gretzky and all that. But I haven't really been into the team anywhere near as much as I was in those years, 1977, 78, 79, 80. Those were the days. And, people think that, well, Wayne Gretzky brought hockey to L.A., and that's just not true. Back in those years, the late 70s, the Kings would sell that place out when they would have the big games against the Canadian teams. When Montreal would come, when the Montreal Canadiens came to play, those would always be Saturday night games, complete sellout. When Vancouver Canucks played, always a sellout. The Toronto Maple Leafs, always a sellout. Boston Bruins, that was a huge rivalry, always a sellout with the Boston. The Philadelphia Flyers, another huge, always a sellout. The New York Islanders, always a sellout. You had all these displaced New Yorkers. Rangers too, another big game. And, then all of a sudden Gretzky came and they were actually a pretty good team. And people say, well, look what Wayne Gretzky's done for hockey in L.A. But it was already up. Marcel Dion is the one who popularized hockey in L.A. as far as I'm concerned.
Well, they had a team before Gretzky got there. And they had a team after he left. So hockey has been in Los Angeles. But, the fortunes of a team bring out the people. And if the team fortunes are not all that great, then there's fewer people in the stands, except for the big games.
Well, anyway, listen, I'll tell you how I got into the Kings. I grew up as a Laker fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, my good friend Don Gallagher, he was the one that really first turned me on to the Lakers and basketball. And we were kids, and we would listen to Chick Hearn, announce those games. We'd be in the schoolyard after school, every day, playing one-on-one. I would always be Elgin Baylor, and he would be Jerry West. Okay, a left-handed Jerry West. But, and we were really into it. And I remember when we finally, grew up, although we haven't grown up yet, but when we got out of high school, Don and I, we're still friends, and we are even to this day. We said, let's go in halves on season tickets. We had jobs and stuff. Let's buy season tickets. And this was in 1976. So this was a couple years after high school, a few years after high school. And we went down to the Forum. We met one of their season seat sales people down there, and we picked out 2 tickets for the Lakers, and they were like up in the colonnade.
Sure.
And first of all, it's pretty much all you could get, and second of all, that's all we could afford. We were kids, but we loved the Lakers in those days. So we went in halves, and a few $100 a piece or whatever it was, and so we figured we'd go to the games. And the season ticket salesman says, "Well, have you ever been to a hockey game?" Hockey? What are you talking? We both played high school basketball. We were basketball players. We were in hockey. I didn't understand any part of the game at all. And that was the first year that the Kings had gotten Marcel Dionne. And I didn't know who Marcel Dionne was, but he gave us 2 complimentary preseason tickets. The season hadn't started yet. This was just before the season. And he gave Don and I we were going to have to call Gallagher and get him on the phone. But he gave us some tickets, and that might not be a bad idea. You want to give him a call, Ronnie, if I give you his number? Yeah. All right. Do you mind, Clarke?
Not at all. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Let's give it a try. Let me write this down for you. You know what? Here, Ronnie, let me pass my cell phone over to you. Call him up on the studio line here if you can, because it reminds me here. Hold on a second. We'll get him in here. Here, Ronnie, take this. Now, he may not be available, but, here, this is it. His name is Gallagher. Let's see if we can get Gallagher on the line. But anyway, so he offered us complimentary seats, right? So we went, and sure enough, the comp seats for the hockey were like the next night.
Oh, really?
And so we went to the game, and it was so exciting. I didn't know anything about the rules, nothing, okay?
Were you waiting for the 4th period?
No, I knew there were 3 periods, but, we were, young and 21 years old, and, we could go into the Forum Club and have drinks, and it was kind of cool because in hockey, it's like a play where you have 3 acts. Act 1, Act 2. So you have these 20-minute intermission breaks, which is kind of cool. And we go into the Forum Club, and we're drinking cocktails with all the hockey hussies and that kind of thing. And, it's more like a fun event. It really was. And can we have a little playback in the studio here? Is that his phone ringing? Let's turn up the playback in the studio if we could. Okay, let's see if Gallagher answers the phone. If it's just his voice, yeah, it would be nice. But if not, we'll just no message. There's a 310 number, right, Ronnie? Yep.
Hi.
All right, kill it. He's probably sleeping already. He's a hardworking guy. He lives in West LA. But in any case, so we went to this game, and all I knew is that when the puck goes in the net, you cheer.
Yes.
That's all. I don't know the things about offsides and icing and all that kind of stuff and penalties and whatever. But when the puck goes in the net, everybody went crazy. And Marcel Dionne caught my eye right away because when you're watching hockey for the first time, it just seems like chaos on the ice. It just seems like they're all just skating around and they're just trying to grab this puck and they don't have that much control. Like in basketball, we're used to seeing guys play with their hands and they can run plays and make passes and cuts and catch and dunks and shots. But in hockey, it's almost like a stroke of luck if you can get it on your stick and, pass it, But for whatever reason, when Marcel Dionne, when that puck hit his stick, it stuck. and he would skate in between guys and make plays, and he had control. And when he shot, he could pick the corner of the net or put it right on some guy's stick. It was amazing. He stood out from everybody on the ice, and the guy was amazing. And man, I had such a great time at that game, and my friend Gallagher did too. And then the next night was the first preseason basketball game with our new season tickets, and we're up in the Colonnade. And I'm keep in mind, we're Laker fans, man. We grew up from, back in the early '60s watching the Lakers. Okay?
And you were diehard too.
Diehard. I mean, go back to Leroy Ellis and Rudy LaRusso and Elgin Baylor. I mean, Darryl Imhoff and Mel Counts and Tommy Hawkins, and I mean, you name it. We were diehards. And anyway, but compared to the hockey, it was so boring. They were just going up and down the court, trading baskets, and of course the game comes down to the last 5 minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It always does.
Yeah.
Usually.
It always does. Well, tonight it didn't because they got blown out. But yeah, and so, like, honest to God, it was halftime of the game, and Don and I just kind of looked at each other and was like, "You want to go? Let's go." And we literally left at halftime.
In your
our first
game
yes,
with season
yes,
tickets,
yes.
you left at halftime.
That's why I wanted to get him on the phone.
That's cold, man.
I wanted to get him on the phone. Ronnie, try him again. Yeah, okay. But I wanted because it's true. We left and we said, you know what? I wonder if the season ticket salesman will let us trade these Laker tickets for 2 King tickets. Honest to God.
And
he did.
He did.
And we got 2 King. And that whole first year, we went to the games together. And then, and I loved it, and he did too. But after that first year, I took him over. I bought it. He didn't want it anymore. I bought it out from him, and I kept him for 3 more years.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, and in 4 years, I only missed 2 home games.
Wow.
But I'm still a huge Laker fan. To me, I mean, it's fun to go to the games, but it's so much better on TV. Whereas hockey, you really do have to be there. I mean, if you're really into your team, I guess you can follow hockey on TV. Again, if you're like, that's your team and you know who the players are and you can get behind it. Like, I'm sure Saturday night, the whole LA is going to be watching the Kings on TV. Don, are you there?
No, we don't have them.
All right. Anyway, so that's it. That was my story. And then, I remember after 1980, that's when, there was this entire change. Jerry Buss bought the Kings and everything and the Lakers and the Forum. And they literally, the ticket prices, they went to this new pricing structure where the season tickets went from, I was literally paying $8.50 per ticket per game. And I had loge seats on the blue line at the end the Kings shot twice at and everything. And it went to $16.50, almost double.
Like overnight.
Overnight, one season. And at that time, I was married to my first ex-wife at that time. And, just trying to, get going. That was a lot of money, And so, and I didn't take her to all the games. I used to take my friends to the weekday games, and Saturday night was, I'd take her, and she was like, "We really don't need this." And I said, "Yeah, you're right." And I gave it up after 4 years. If it would have went up maybe $2 a ticket, but double the price from $8.50 to $16.50.
You got to pay for buying the teams.
I mean, that's huge. It was huge. And so I honestly could not name you one player on the Kings right now, although I've been watching the news and I know the goalie's name is Quick and he's doing a great job. But other than him, I couldn't name one player on the team. But I'm happy if LA can finally get their first Stanley Cup, that would be really, really nice. But going back to the Lakers, when you watch these teams in the playoffs now, it's amazing how, they're just so far away from being near the top of the league now. You watch these Final Four teams. San Antonio got beat last night, but the team that beat them is the team that blew the Lakers out 4-1,
Sure.
which was Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And, these guys are going to be around for the next 10 years at least, Oklahoma City. Their top 3 players are all 22 and 23 years old.
They're a very young team,
Yeah, and great. I mean, this kid Westbrook, he's a UCLA Bruin, so I pull for all ex-Bruins, former Bruins. But anyway, so we're going to have a Game 7 and in the East, and I'd like to see Miami pull it off. Wherever Pat Riley goes, I go. All right. So, Clarke, now, before we get into you, I just want to make a a statement here. Anybody who's new to Acorn TV, please like us on our Facebook page and share this feed on your Facebook page and help us to spread the word. Okay. Now, I was really surprised to get a call from you today, and then when you called, you were here.
Yeah.
Which surprised me. So tell me about it. What are you doing here in Minneapolis?
Well, I'm here to see my youngest daughter graduate from high school. Her graduation's tomorrow night, and she went to Chanhassen High School, which is about a mile from here.
Yeah, I'm very close. When people ask me, how do I get to your place or where do you live, the first thing I always say is, do you know where Chanhassen High School is?
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm about a mile from Chanhassen High School.
Well, that's where she went to high school. She's graduating high school, and graduation's tomorrow night. And then I'm going to do some more work. She's going to have her open house a week from Saturday for her graduation. On Sunday, she's got her last dance recital.
Now, we've got a picture of both of your daughters
there
here.
they are.
So which one is it that you're going to see both daughters, of course?
I'm going to see both daughters, yeah.
But one's in college.
The one on the right is Natalie, and she is 17 years old, and she's going to be graduating high school here. And the one on the left is Jessica, and she is going to turn 21 a week from Saturday. So I'm going to be here for her 21st birthday as well.
The one on the left is the one in college.
She's the one in college, yes. She's going to be an English teacher. She goes to Winona State University in Winona. Winona State University.
But is that Minnesota or
Winona,
Wisconsin?
Winona, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Winona, but I mean, like, for example, Maddie here lives in Wisconsin.
Oh, do you? Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah, so we're very close to the Wisconsin border here.
Yeah.
So, it could be, that's why. So it's in Minnesota.
Winona, Minnesota.
How far is that from here?
It's an hour by train. That's what I know.
Oh, you're taking the train?
I'm taking the train down there because she's got the car that I'm going to use to drive down to Moline, Illinois to see my 87-year-old dad and my little sister and the nieces and the nephews and the grandnieces and the grandnephews, and it's a big, wonderful vacation.
And wow, you really could take that much time away from. You're going to be gone for what, 10 days?
10 days. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 days. And so I thought I'd give you a call.
That's cool.
And see if I could come up and see your wonderful studio here and see your show live.
Well, what do you think of the studio?
Well, I like it. I have electronics envy.
I'll tell you what, man. If I had the money, Clarke, honestly,
it'd be bigger, wouldn't it?
Oh my God,
this is great.
No, it's awesome. But my fantasy would be, let's go get about a 3,000 square foot industrial unit. Not huge. You don't need like 20,000.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't need what you used to need.
No, but and just build out a really nice studio.
I don't know if you know this, but I was in television post-production many years ago in 1983.
Well, I know you were in film distribution.
I was in film distribution first.
Right.
And then when I was in film distribution, I had an opportunity to produce a couple of TV shows. In, I think it was 1982, I produced a television program called Music Magazine, which was the very first television show to use music videos as programming. Okay, and we had William King of the Commodores was our host for that show, and he's a great guy. And we had the Pointer Sisters on, and we had Andre Crouch doing his gospel stuff, and we had Rick Springfield and Jesse's Girl was on that show. And so that was the first TV show to use music videos as programming, and I thought it was a great idea. Nobody bought it. 2 years later, MTV came out, and everybody said, "What a concept!"
It was what, like 1980 when MTV came out, right?
Well, I was just before MTV.
So was that like about 78-ish?
I'm an older fella now, and
you're not older than me. You're a baby. You're a baby. Okay, you're not that old.
So anyway, I was in, but I was in television post production at Primetime Post. And they did the first 80 half hours of The People's Court, and we did Our Magazine and all that, and that's where I first got into television post production. Mm-hmm. So when I was in post production, I thought, well, what the heck, let's do production. And of course, production back then was really expensive. I mean, now, we can do it with a lot less money. It's not millions of dollars anymore.
No, I mean, even like what I'm doing right here. I mean, we're doing this on low budget, but I've still spent.
But this is fantastic.
No, I mean, I've
got
still
a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
man.
I've still spent probably about 5 figures. But I
sure.
mean, but
easy.
I could eat, but I could spend, I mean, I don't even mean like television production, just doing video web stuff. I could probably spend 100 easy. You know, what I'm planning to do is take all this out behind us and put in a little, I want to do like a Johnny Carson like set.
Oh, a set.
Like a little desk and a couch kind of thing,
Cool.
With the chair and all that. We can do that in here. But
I think it's cool the way it is.
yeah, but then I'd have to get video cameras. We're using webcams right now. But these are HD webcams, which are nice. Yeah. And of course, we've got the nice Shure microphones and all that. But the software, the software is very expensive. But we can go to hardware. Then you start spending more money.
The hardware is expensive.
Yeah, but we're looking at it.
Well,
but
great.
But I got to just raise a whole bunch of money. Anybody out there want to chip in about $25,000, and we can really have some fun with it.
There you go.
But I mean, it's fun. It's fun, and like you say, nowadays, in the old days, you had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Let me give you the story here. At Primetime Post, we were the very first ones to have a digital effect, and the digital effect was on a piece of equipment called a squeeze zoom, and all it did was, what an A/B roll is, right?
Oh, of course,
it's one picture and another picture, and it cost the squeeze zoom cost $1 million. And took up a space about as big as your living room, and had 4 10-ton air conditioners on the roof to keep it cool. And all it did was take an A roll and B roll and go take the picture and turn this way, go up and down. And that's all it did. That's all it did. It was $1 million for that piece of equipment, and it cost $500 an hour to turn it on. Okay, and then after that came Ampex Digital Opticals and Premiere and all that kind of stuff. And
if you saw what they can do with software now, it would blow your mind.
Well, you're going to show a clip, I think, from Chippendales.
Yeah.
Later.
Well, let's do it now.
Okay.
Now, okay. Right. Before we show this clip, let's let everybody know. I mean, you were the MC
of the original Chippendale show. Yes.
Of the original Chippendales in Los Angeles, West LA, over on Overland, where they had the club.
That's right.
And you kind of got that gig because when you were in your film distribution business,
right,
one of your clients was the producer of the Chippendale dance show.
Yeah, Nick DeNoia.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. A wonderful, wonderful guy.
Who was murdered.
By the owner of Chippendales.
I knew that.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did. And we're all real sorry that he's gone because he was one of the most creative guys you'd ever want to meet. So here's the story behind that.
Yeah.
I was in movie distribution, went to a party in Beverly Hills, and told the lady there that I was in film distribution, and I was in foreign sales. So I went to the Cannes Film Festival every year, and the MeFed, and the ones in Europe. And so she said, I know a guy who's got some really great musicals that he produced. And it was Nick DeNoia. So she sent me over to Nick, and he had this wonderful series, a musical series called The Unicorn Tales. And so I got the distribution rights for The Unicorn Tales, went over and I sold them, and I brought him a check from one of the deals, and it was for $6,000. And back then, $6,000 was, some money. So I handed him the check for $6,000, and I said, here's your money. And he said, okay, thanks. And he didn't say a word, not thanks for anything. And he had papers and junk all around. And I said, what's the problem? I just gave you money. And he said, well, I've got this show that I'm putting together in this club down there. And we've been through 72 guys to be the master of ceremonies, and nobody can do it. Just nobody can do it. Nobody can do it. We've been through so many people. I just think it's impossible. And I said, well, let me take a look at it. So he handed me the script, and I took the script. I took 3 steps back and just went, and he just took one look at me and he said, you've got the job.
But he didn't he ask you, can you do it on roller skates? He
said, yeah, can you do it on roller skates? And the answer, if you're an actor in Hollywood, is what?
I can do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever they ask you do, you can do it. Okay, so I got the gig and then started taking roller skating lessons.
Right. And when you first, when he told you about the gig, did he tell you it was male strippers or?
Well, I saw that it was when I saw the script.
Okay.
When I saw the script, I thought that was a neat concept. I thought that was cool. Well, it was jokes. I had done stand-up comedy.
I know.
And so it was jokes, and it was, not. Some of them were great, and some of them weren't so hot and all that. So I had to rewrite it myself a little bit. And
well, we've got a little compilation video here. It's kind of like a little highlight clip, and if you look real fast, you can see you in there on the roller skates.
That's shots of me.
All right, let's check it out. Here we go. Wow, Clarke. I was sitting here saying that doesn't even look like you. But, if I showed pictures of me 30 years ago, it wouldn't look like me either.
Yeah, I was a young, good-looking guy. What the heck happened?
I know we were both skinny guys.
Skinny, good-looking. Yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I want to tell you about the software that I used to put that clip together.
Sure.
It's called Sony Vegas Pro.
Okay.
And it costs $85. And it's video editing software, which has more capability than what $10 million bought in the early 1980s. And I did it on my laptop computer.
Yeah, like I say, it is amazing, what you can do with software now. But believe it or not, the streaming software is not that cheap. I mean,
streaming is different. Streaming,
yeah, but it's still relatively cheap, like compared to buying. Ronnie, what's that equipment that we looked into? The TriCaster. We looked into TriCaster, and you can spend $20,000 on a TriCaster, and I think it's pretty cool. I know you work on those, haven't you, Ronnie? Yeah. Yeah. We use a software program, and we've spent $1,000 on our program. There's an upgrade for another $1,000, which I want to get. But even $1,000 for this, I mean, it's a lot, but it's a virtual studio.
But Larry, this is the age of the auteur, okay? Because money is not preventing people from producing things anymore. Okay,
right.
That's a big deal. It's unleashing a lot of creativity. You can see a lot of creativity and a lot of not creativity on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and you can see some stuff that's really good, and you can see some stuff that is not so hot. Okay, but it is the age of the auteur. Almost everybody can put something together on their laptop. Because they've got all of those different small pieces of software to do it. So It is the age of the auteur, creativity. Money is not holding people back from putting, really good things together. And you are a prime example because you're streaming right here nationwide.
Yeah, well,
and you're not paying $25,000 for a transponder on a satellite.
A month.
A month.
Yeah, $25,000 a month. Actually,
that's right.
Actually, it's not $25,000 a month. It's more like $110,000 a month
for a transponder these days.
Well, the $110,000 would be cheap.
Really?
Yeah, if you get into a low rent neighborhood. When I talk about a low rent neighborhood, on these transponders, like one of the Hughes transponders is going to be more expensive than that. It'd be probably like $150,000 a month, and you have to buy it for the life expectancy of the satellite.
Yeah.
Of the satellite, unless you are subletting from somebody else. And then you could buy it for a few hours in the middle of the night, and But depending upon, like I say, the neighborhood. If you're in a group of transponders where you have NBC and CBS or some
was expensive.
That's going to be expensive, right?
Yeah. But I don't think we're going to need that anymore. I think there's going to be plenty of bandwidth going to people's homes with optical fibers.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It's true. Right now we're still at that point where people want to watch on TV.
Yeah.
But it's slowly, we're getting there. The computers are, It is digital. It can work. So, man, it's really interesting. I wish I, knew more about it. I know more than most people, but, man, there's guys that know so much more. I know there's more that I could be doing that I'm not doing.
Well, you've got a laundry list as long as your arm of things you want to do with Acorn TV. I know. It's the only thing stopping me right now is money. Now, you're an investment advisor, right? I am. I'm a registered investment advisor.
So can't you advise one of your clients who's rich to invest in me?
No.
Oh, you know me too well.
Well, you know where I work, right?
Yeah, I know Investors Business Daily.
Yeah, I work at Investors Business Daily, and so we're stock people.
No, but even aside from Investors Business Daily, for a long time you had your own investment advisor.
And I still do.
That's what I was referring to. Not one of the.
Well, but you have a client, and the client hires you to do stocks. You got to do stocks. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what they want to do.
Yeah, but if you know a rich guy.
I know a billionaire. He hired me.
Okay. Yeah. How's he doing? Is his health okay?
Oh, he's doing fine.
Is he really?
He's doing really well, yes.
William O'Neill. Yeah.
William J. O'Neill.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you're out here on a family vacation. And, now you say you're driving down to Moline, Illinois. Is that close to Chicago?
No, it's on the Mississippi River, directly across from Davenport and Bettendorf, Iowa. So it is all the way. It's on the western edge of the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's not close to Chicago.
It is not close to Chicago. It is straight across the state from Chicago west.
When I moved out here, I brought my car and a carload worth of stuff and hauled a trailer behind it with a friend of mine. And we drove through Chicago from New York. And the last night we stayed on the road, we stayed in Skokie, just outside of Chicago, Skokie, Illinois. And we drove, the last run coming up was here, and it was about, I think, 6 hours or so from Chicago to Minneapolis, maybe 7, I don't remember. And the whole time, I've been here now for over a year, and I kept saying, one of these times I'm going to just drive down to Chicago for the weekend. I mean, a 6-7 hour drive, that reminds me of like LA to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which I've done a bunch of times, but I've never once done it.
It's a long drive for her.
But just to go down there and get those Chicago Italian beef sandwiches.
You're talking to a vegetarian,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Those Italian beefs in Chicago are awesome. And the Chicago hot dogs and everything
And the deep
else.
dish pizza.
I like the skinny pizza.
Do you?
But I know Chicago deep dish is good.
Yeah,
but I really like the real, like California Pizza Kitchen and the real skinny stuff. One of the things I do miss about L.A., believe it or not, is I miss the restaurants and the food. Like I lived in New York for 7 years, and New Yorkers are really funny because they think that, their restaurants and their food is the best in the world. And, and there's some great restaurants in New York. But I'm sorry. I prefer the restaurants in L.A. over New York any day.
We got some fabulous restaurants in California.
Incredible.
L.A., Orange County, San Diego. Fantastic stuff. Now, as a vegetarian, I got to tell you, I have never had such great food that I've had in the vegan cafes and the places where you can get vegetarian stuff. Almost every restaurant there has a really good vegetarian thing. Something besides a veggie burger,
Yeah. What is this picture here?
Oh, that's me. That's me. That's Native Foods.
Where did you get that, Ronnie?
It was in our system.
Did you find the picture of me and Clarke in there? Because I remember we had pulled it.
Yeah, that's me eating at Native Foods, and this is a vegan restaurant that has lots of really neat stuff that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, if I started doing that, I'd probably lose a bunch of weight, which would be a good thing for me. But I don't know, man. Vegetables are fine, but I like meat. I gotta
that
eat.
Stuff will kill you.
Well, that's
That's all right.
I can't help it. I just I'm kind of addicted to it, I guess. All right, so you're driving down to Moline, so you taking a 10-day trip. I'm really happy you called. Come in here and hang out with us tonight. And
my pleasure.
You know that I'm into classic movies. You were formerly in the
movie business,
movie business, film distribution. Do you ever? When you ever think about getting back into?
Well, I wish I could. Back in those days, I had producers who produced pictures, and they were the $40,000 2-week wonders. A lot of people today don't remember this, but there was a time when there was no video. There was a time when there were no DVDs. There was a time when there was only 35 millimeter film. And that's when I began in the business, is when it was 35 millimeter film. And I still have my 2-wheeler that was built for film cans. Used to stack up a bunch of film cans. And when I sold movies to people in foreign countries, I sold movies to men, basically, who owned motion picture theaters. So they showed the movies. That's who I sold to. And they would buy my movies and play them in their theaters. And I used to have to take them up to a screening room and screen them on 35 millimeter film.
But so in other words, you were doing the same thing that Paramount and MGM and 20th Century Fox, those are selling their movies for distribution also.
Only I did it with the finest movies on the planet.
What, sci-fi?
Grave of the Vampire, Garden of the Dead, The Thirsty Dead, Beyond the Living Dead, which I still own and will sell you for very cheap. The Hills Have Eyes 1, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes 1. I didn't have the whole world on those, but I had a little bit. And Sabra with David Jansen, Funeral for an Assassin with Vic Morrow. So I really had some pretty good pictures. And you remember there was a time when we had something called a drive-in movie. And a drive-in movie, we could play a triple bill with Grave of the Vampire, Garden of the Dead, and The Thirsty Dead on a triple bill at a drive-in movie. Well, drive-in movies have gone the way of the dinosaur these days. and there aren't any drive-in movies anymore. They were called $40,000 2-week wonders, and the reason they were called $40,000 2-week wonders is because that's what they paid to make the pictures, and they shot them in 2 weeks, and then they edited them over the next 3 months, and then they were out in distribution. Okay, in theatrical distribution, and so I was in the motion picture business in the transition between film and video. So there was a time when you could not buy a major motion picture on video cassette. There were only two kinds you could buy. One, of course, was porno, and the other was my movies, because we had private ownership of my movies.
And that was on VHS.
No, it was on Beta first.
Beta, and it was probably
came out first. Beta
$90.
$89.95. $89.95. My picture, Beyond the Living Dead, which I didn't produce myself. I bought it from a bunch of airline pilots who had played it off in the theaters, okay? And when the theatrical run was done and we couldn't sell it anymore for a theatrical release, they thought the money was done and money was over, so they sold it to me for a couple of grand negative and worldwide rights, which I then subsequently put into video cassettes, sold all over the world, and did pretty well.
Yeah, nowadays, impossible.
So I wish I could do it, okay? I wish I could do it again. But as I was in the business, my producers got old, they retired, they didn't produce any pictures anymore, and so I was a really good salesman in an empty store.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I could do. I had 12 years in, and we made some pretty good money along the way. But ultimately, the majors came in. One producers association meeting, we went in there, and some guy brought a major motion picture on video cassette with a Pepsi commercial in front. And he said, "Guess how much this is?" And we said, "I don't know, $59.95 something." And he said, $14.95. And we all looked at each other and went, "Well, this certainly was fun, wasn't it?" And it's now over.
The business is over. Yeah,
it's over.
Couldn't do it that cheap.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at some classic movie clips, and we'll try and have some fun with that. All right?
I'm in.
All right, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Chill with Larry Megan.
ZuluTimeZone.com is the first and only authorized dealer for Offshore Limited in the United States. ZuluTimeZone.com is proud to support Chillin' with Larry Megan and Acorn TV. Use the discount coupon code DAD to receive an additional $20 off per item. ZuluTimeZone.com digs Chillin' with Larry Megan.
Chill with Larry Megan.
The way he says my name, Chillin' with Larry Megan. Listen, we're having fun. We're hanging out here with my friend Clarke Wilson, who came visiting from Los Angeles. And we're going to take a look at some old movie clips and try and have some fun just playing them back and forth here. So right now, Ronnie, we're going to go to the Classic Film Zone. Do you have that ready? Sure do. Let's do it. What I thought we'd do now, usually in the Classic Film Zone, we feature a particular movie and we show clips from it. We talk all about that movie and everything. We're not going to do that tonight. what I'm going to do, I've got a nice little library now. You know, this is actually our 52nd or 53rd show of
Really?
Chillin' with Larry
Wow,
Megan,
wow.
going back
So many.
Going back to 2010 because we had a seasonal break when I moved from New York to here. But in any case, so I've developed quite a library now of film clips from these movies. Because once we use it for the show, we don't just delete it.
No, it's there.
Yeah, we have a library. We have a clip.
It's available forever.
It's available, right. So what I did is I printed out a list. And this is only really a partial list because the old clips from the original shows that I did in New York, that's on another computer. So I didn't have access to it right away. But
you got a million clips here.
But here, yeah, we have plenty right here. I mean, so these are all the first of all, I've got two lists I printed out for you, Clark. One is the different movies that we have. And then the other one, I started pulling some of the better clips from each of those movies. So what I thought we'd do is take turns.
Okay.
You can pick one.
Okay.
And we'll play the clip. We'll talk a little bit about it. And then if there's any backstory or whatever, just our thoughts, whatever. And then I'll play one.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you go first since you're my
you're
guest.
Let me go first. Oh,
Now,
thank you so much.
Right, and if you don't see it on the clip list, if it's on the movie list, we may have the clip in the folder. We can grab that while we're, Ronnie can go in there and grab it. So.
Okay. Well, let's start with the bottom here, on the right, The Music Man.
The Music Man, Robert Preston, 1963.
Robert Preston, 1963, and I remember it well.
All right. Well, we've got about 4 or 5 different clips in there. Do you have one in mind that you want to do?
I like Trouble in River City.
Yeah, I think if you're only going to show one, that's probably...
That's the one.
All right.
The one.
Now, this is Robert Preston, 1963, The Music Man. We featured this one about probably 3 or 4 months ago, I think in February.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And so about 3 months ago. But, great flick. Ronnie, do you have that one ready? Let's do it. Trouble in River City.
Now, Mars, I need some ideas if I'm going to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City ain't in any trouble.
Well, then I have to create some. Must create a desperate need in your town for a boys' band. So why does everybody keep rubbering into the billiard parlor?
Oh, they just got in a new pool table.
They must have seen a pool table before.
No, just billiards.
That'll do it. You just sit where you are, and remember, if you see that music teacher... Are you Mr. Dunlop?
Yeah? Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad leave to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a bop-line game, I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper, hearing him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door patched or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker, shirt-tail young ones, peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble, folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Now, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm going to be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They ever trying out Bevo, trying out Cubats, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're going to cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the Armory. Libertine men and scarlet women and ragtime, shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter, with the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble! Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here in River City. With a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. Aha, and so's your old man. But if so, my friends, we got trouble. Right here in River City. With a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Oh, yes, we got trouble. With a T. Gonna rhyme it with P. It stands for pool. Remember, my friends, listen to me because I passed this way but once. Trouble, 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 trouble. Oh, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Right here we're singing with a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. Stands for pool. Right here we're singing. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Well, now that was awesome. I love the Music
it.
Man, and that's a great number right there with Robert Preston, 1962. But I have to ask you now, was there any reason you picked the Music Man?
Well, besides the fact that I love it,
No, that's good enough.
No, but what happened was I was 11 years old at the time, and I was just learning how to play my cornet. And I went down to the.
You played the horn?
I played cornet. Yeah. How about you?
I played trumpet.
See, we're the same.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I became drum major in the.
Now, if you were 11 in 1962, then you are older than me. I thought I was older than you.
No, I'm older than you.
Because I
just look younger.
I was 7. So you had me by, what are you, 1951?
1951.
I'm 55.
See,
Yep.
You're a kid. You're a child. You're a baby.
I'm a baby. Okay.
So I was playing my cornet, and I went down to the music store to get some valve oil for my valves and my cornet.
Right.
And the guy said, "What age are you?" And he said, "I'm 11." I said, "Okay, look, we have a contest going on. We want you to sight read something and play your cornet into this microphone. We're going to record you and send it off to some music teachers someplace. We're going to decide who wins the contest about how well you sight read this piece of music." So I played it and went home, and I won 4 tickets to see the movie The Music Man.
Wow.
And my family was all jazzed about it, and I was all jazzed about it because I had played my cornet into the microphone and won 4 tickets to see The Music Man. And so when I saw it, it was really a special thing for me because I had won the tickets. And then I saw the picture. Of course, the picture is just wonderful. And
now, when was the last time you've seen this movie?
This particular movie has years for this one. You know, Matthew Broderick has
on Broadway
did it on Broadway and did it on Disney Channel.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's one of my favorites, and as an actor, it's the one. It's one of the number of characters that I have always wanted to do, but now I'm a little old, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
But that's one I always wanted to do. So it's a wonderful picture. Everybody should see it, and it'll make it for the ages. it'll make it for the ages.
You know, I can't remember now who they wanted to get for the part of the Music Man. I want to say Sinatra, but I think it was the writer insisted that it would be Robert Preston because he did it on Broadway.
Yeah, Meredith Willson.
Insisted it was going to be Robert Preston, or he wasn't going to do the. Maybe not Sinatra. I'm trying to remember who it was now. It escapes me, but it was somebody very well known. But it wouldn't have been better with anybody else.
I don't.
You know what? I think it was Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
I think so. And even he had said it's got to be Robert Preston.
Yeah.
He's just perfect for that.
He was fabulous.
Well, listen, we're in our classic film zone right now, and we're doing something a little different. We're playing musical chairs with these clips here, and we're just going to take turns picking them out of these highlights that we've done over the last many, many months. So we just saw Clark's pick here of Trouble in River City from The Music Man. I mentioned Sinatra. I think I want to do a little Frank Sinatra for you.
All righty.
Okay, I've got a number of Sinatras in here. I could go all the way back to Anchors Away, or we could go back, which is him and Gene Kelly, or I could go to him and Bing Crosby. Let's do that. High Society. High Society. You like Sinatra?
Love Sinatra.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody from our era should love Sinatra.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Old
let's
Blue
do
Eyes.
that. Did you ever... Frank Sinatra and from High Society and Bing Crosby. Now, this was in 1955, and it's a remake of the old Philadelphia Story with Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. Check it out.
C.K. Dexter Haven? Didn't you once know a girl named Tracy Samantha Lloyd?
Sounds familiar.
No, you didn't. If you had really known her, you would never let her get away. You got hiccups.
Excuse.
It's all right. Tracy's no ordinary woman.
So I understand.
You are still in love with her. Oh, don't deny it, buddy.
I wasn't going to.
Oh? Does she know this?
Yeah, she knows it.
Nah, that ain't the way I get it.
What's that?
I have heard among this clan you are called a forgotten man.
Is that what they're saying? Well, did you ever? What a swell party this is.
And have you heard the story of a boy, a girl, unrequited love?
Sounds like pure soap opera.
I may cry.
Tune in tomorrow. What a swell party this is. What frails, what frocks,
what broads,
what furs, what rocks.
They're beautiful.
Why, I've never seen such gaiety.
Neither did I.
It's all just too exquis, really.
This French champagne.
Domestic. So good for the brain.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, you're a brilliant fellow.
Thank you.
Drink up, Jack. Please don't eat that glass, my friend. Have you heard about dear Blanche? Got run down by an avalanche.
No.
Don't worry, she's a game girl, you know. Got up and finished fourth.
This kid's got guts.
Having a nice time? Grab a line.
Have you heard that Mimsy Star?
Oh, what now?
She got pinched in the Astor bar.
Sauced again, eh?
She was stoned.
Well, did you ever?
Never.
What a swell party this is.
I'm gonna have a drink.
I may have a bit of the bubbly myself.
I'm gonna dance.
Don't get hurt.
Oh, no.
It's great.
Oh, it's great.
It's grand.
So grand.
It's wonderland. La 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 la
ya da dum bum bum.
La 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 la
ya da dum bum. La 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 ya da da. We sing so rare, like old Camembert, like Barbara. Ba 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 bum.
Don't dig that kind of crooning, chum.
You must be one of the newer fellas.
Have you heard it's in the stars? Next July we collide with Mars. Well, did you ever What a swell party, a swell party, a swelligan, elegant party this is. I drink to your health. Nah, let's drink to your wealth. You're my bon ami.
Hey, that's French.
A liberty fraternity. Have you heard it's in the stars? Next July we collide with Mars. Well, did you ever? What a swell party. Swell party. Swelligan, elegant party. This is.
All right. Well,
lovely, lovely,
you like that?
lovely, lovely, lovely.
Bing Crosby.
Such harmony, those guys. Such harmony, such great voices.
Frank Sinatra idolized Bing Crosby, and for him, it was like a dream for him to sing with Bing Crosby. He idolized him. Very different style of singers, and that's why the funny part in the song is, when he was crooning, ba 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 ba, that, and he says, and he made a funny comment, about don't sing. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an inside joke because they don't sing the same way. But anyway, so that was my pick. Sinatra, gave you a little Sinatra and Bing Crosby.
Yeah, I saw Sinatra in concert, actually, at the at Universal.
Really? So that was in, what, the 80s?
Oh, 80s, yeah, in the 80s.
God, he was...
And he gave a great concert.
Because I think he did his big Madison Square Garden thing like in the late 70s, right? There was a big Sinatra event maybe 78, and he was great there. So the 80s.
No, wait. You know what? It was in the 70s that I saw him in Universal.
Okay.
Because I remember which girlfriend I saw him with.
Okay.
So it was in the 70s, yeah.
All right. And it was great?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It's funny. I mentioned this last week. I don't know why it came up, but it did. Or maybe not last week, a few weeks ago. I had a guy helping me move something, a young kid. He was like 22 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I got him off of Craigslist. And so... I had to drive over to pick up this big piece of furniture, and he was helping me move it. I couldn't do it myself, right? So he gets in the car, we're driving over, and he's 22, and he's into rap music, and he's a rapper, and he wants to get into the music industry, and he does this all the time. So in his mind, he's got a music, he's into the music scene, right? So we're in my car, and I've got Sinatra playing. I've got Nat King Cole and Judy Garland. I got all these Ella Fitzgerald. This is what I got. Rosemary Clooney in my car, but playing on my system is Sinatra. So I said to the kid, "Do you know who this is?" And he said, "No." And it's okay that he doesn't recognize who it is. So I said, "Frank Sinatra." Who? He had never even heard of. Now I understand.
Really?
I understand if you don't recognize the song or recognize the singer. But he never even heard of Frank Sinatra.
He must have been young.
22. He was 22.
Holy smokes.
It's sad that, kids
God.
today, there are people out there that never even, how can you not at least have heard the name Frank Sinatra? And you're in the music business.
My daughter asked me, did Paul McCartney have a group before Wings?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to be kidding.
No.
All right, listen. Look, that's hysterical. Anyway, look over your list.
All right.
Do you have something there that you want to pick out?
Oh, there's a clip that you have here that is one of the classic clips of a classic motion picture of all time, and everybody will recognize it when you see it. It's from the motion picture On the Waterfront, and one of the great actors in American history, Marlon Brando. So let's take a look at that.
All right, let's do it.
Hi, Charlie. I'm glad you stopped by for me. I've been wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, sure, kid.
Where to?
You just go to River Street, and I'll tell you where to stop.
I thought we was going to the garden.
We are, but I want to cover a bet on the way over. Besides, this will give us a chance to talk.
Well, nobody ever stopped you from talking, Charlie.
Listen,
The grapevine says that you got a subpoena.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys would know you well enough to know that you're not a cheese eater, but they think maybe you should not be on the outside so much, a little on the inside, have a few little things working for you down at the docks.
A steady job and a couple extra potatoes, that's all I want.
Oh, sure, that's great when you're a kid, but you're getting on, you're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Maybe. Look, there's a boss loader slot that's open on the new pier we're opening up. You see, now it pays 6 cents on every 100 pounds that goes in and every 100 pounds that goes out, and you don't have to lift a finger. That's $200, $300, $400 a week. $400 a week just for the openers.
I get all that dough for not doing nothing.
You don't do anything, and you don't say anything. You understand?
There's more to this than I thought, Charlie. I'm telling you, there's a lot more.
You don't mean that you're thinking of testifying against some people that we might know?
I don't know, Charlie. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know, Charlie. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Listen, Terry, you know how much those piers are worth that we control through the local?
I know that.
All right, you think that Johnny's going to jeopardize the whole setup for one rubber-lipped ex-tanker
Don't
who's
say
walking on
that.
his heels? What the?
Been better.
That's not the point.
I could have been a lot better,
The
Charlie.
point is we don't have much time.
I'm telling you, I haven't made up my mind
Well,
yet.
make up your mind before we get to 437 River Street.
Before we get to where, Charlie? Before we get to
Listen
where?
to me, Terry. Take the job. Just take it. No questions. Take it. Terry, take this job, please.
Charlie.
Please take it.
Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Wow.
Okay. Look here, Daddy. How much you weigh, Slim? And you weighed 168 pounds. You were beautiful. You could have been another Billy Kahn. That skunk we got you for the manager, he brought you along too fast.
It wasn't him, Charlie. It was you. You remember that night in the garden? You came down my dressing room and said, "Kid, this ain't your night. We're going for the price on Wilson." You remember that? This ain't your night. My night. I could have taken Wilson apart. So what happens? He gets the title shot outdoors in a ballpark, and what do I get? A one-way ticket to Palookaville. You was my brother, Charlie. You should have looked out for me a little bit. You should have taken care of me just a little bit so I wouldn't have to take them dives for the short-end money.
Well, I had some bets down for you. You saw some money.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it. It was you, Charlie.
Okay. Okay. Now tell him I couldn't find you. Said no one, he won't believe it. Here. You take this. You're gonna need it. You pull over. Take me to the garden.
Awesome scene. I love that scene.
The scene has everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with a couple of brothers going someplace, and it ends up with life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
In the car.
Yeah, and there was really only like a back seat. They made that look like a car and everything. That's a historic scene of all time, and there was a lot of struggle over that scene. Brando was not happy with it, and they changed it. That whole reaction to him having his older brother pull a gun on him and everything. But his brother, of course, is mixed up in the mob. With basically...
Well, and so is Brando, because he had to take a dive,
Well, yeah.
on more than one occasion.
Brando worked for the union. These are union guys. And, but Brando was growing a conscience because he accidentally got involved in having his friend killed. They told him, well, we just want to straighten him out. We just want to talk to him, so tell him to meet us up on the roof. And then they ended up pushing him off the roof. Yeah. And then Brando started dating the guy's sister, or wanting to go out with her anyway, and then she found out that he was involved, and so he started growing a conscience and about the whole thing, and he was almost wanting to rat him out. Then there's a historic fight scene at the end of the movie, but that scene right there, I could have been a contender.
I could have been somebody.
Yeah,
it's everything
instead of a bum, which is what I am. Brando. I guess you got to love Marlon Brando. I mean, they don't make them like that anymore.
And they don't make pictures like that anymore.
I know.
They don't make pictures like that anymore.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And that was Rod Steiger, by the way, who plays the older brother there. Good call, man. I didn't know if you'd... See, I like picking musical numbers, but I put, the drama ones on here, too.
Well, I want to change it up a little bit. I mean, that's a
really
great.
No, that's awesome.
Hot, dramatic scene, and you don't see a lot of that anymore. About the relationship, the two guys
good
together.
acting.
Yeah, real good, solid acting there.
All right, so let's see now. Let me cross that off the list here. That was on the waterfront. All right, let's see here. All right, so I get to pick one now, right?
You get to pick one. Your turn.
Right. Hopefully I pick one that somebody you like. I showed Sinatra. Do you like Jane Russell?
Well,
do you know who Jane Russell is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you like Jane Russell?
Yes, I like Jane Russell.
Do you like Marilyn Monroe?
I like Marilyn Monroe.
Really?
Yes. They're lovely women.
Did you ever see...
I like women.
So do I. But listen, that's my downfall. But listen, did you ever see Gentlemen Prefer Blondes?
I did, but it's been like 100 years, so I mean, I could see it again.
Okay. There's two great numbers in there. One, of course, is Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, which is, there's more than two, actually. There's Sisters, and there's a whole bunch. But,
Sisters.
Right. But one of my favorites is Bye Bye Baby, because we get a real good look at Jane Russell, not just Marilyn. We get them both in this clip. Okay, can you dig that?
Oh, let's look
All right,
at that.
From Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Without being too
Maddie, you got
it.
it queued up? Yep. Okay, here it is. Bye Bye Baby.
Dear, a lot depends on how you conduct yourself on this trip. As you know, Dad is dead set against our marriage, and well, even the slightest hint of any scandal, even the slightest, I don't know what I could do about it.
My goodness, lover, you don't have to tell me that.
Oh, I'd give anything in the world if I was sailing with you, baby.
Me too. I don't know what I'll do in Europe without you.
I don't know what I'll do without you either.
I'm not so sure about that. You can be a pretty naughty boy sometimes.
Oh, you don't have to worry about trusting me.
I do, though.
All visitors ashore. First call. All visitors ashore.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye. Although I know that you care, won't you write and declare that though on the loose you are still on the square. I'll be gloomy, but send that rainbow to me then. My shadows will fly, though you'll be gone for a while. I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by, and by with my baby by and by. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye.
We will meet
baby
on the beautiful shore.
Bye. Bye-bye, pretty baby. You better remember you're my baby when they give you the eye, bye-bye.
Although I know that you care, won't you ride and declare?
Declare that though on the loose, you are still staying on the square. I'll be gloomy,
But send that rainbow to me.
then my shadow will fly. Though you'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by, and by with my baby by and by. I'll be in my room alone, every past meridian, and I'll be with my diary and that book by Mr. Gideon. Bye-bye, baby. Remember, you're my baby when they give you the eye. And just to show that I care, I will write and declare that I'm on the loose, but I'll stay on the square. I'll be lonely, but even though I'm lonely, there'll be no other guy. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by, with my baby by and by.
But send that rainbow to me, then mine shall
On ashore, let's go. On ashore, let's go.
gone for a while. I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by. Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye. Although I know that you care, won't you ride and declare
That though on the loose, you are still on the square.
I'll be gloomy, but send that rainbow to me, then my shadows will fly.
Hey, you better go. Don't go.
Step back, please.
Bye, lover.
I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by, with my wonderful baby.
Fantastic.
Now,
fantastic.
Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe.
They
had
are.
such great chemistry on the air together, especially in that movie. They were incredible. And, she just passed away not that long ago.
That was
we looked it up, right?
2/28 of 2011. Jane Russell passed away.
Just a little over a year
age
ago.
89, yeah.
But I love that movie, and it's a Howard Hawks movie, and the two of them together are just fantastic. On that scene right there, they're leaving on a trip to Europe on a cruise, and that's her fiance that has to let her go, and that's like supposedly the whole Olympic team that's on the boat, and he's all worried that she's going to be playing with the Olympic team and everything.
Why would he be worried about that?
But she was really
That's silly.
Yeah, she and Lorelai, who is the Marilyn Monroe character, she can spot a diamond a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes after a guy who owns a diamond mine, and it's hysterical. It's a great movie. I love it. That was 1953. All right.
And that clip, I just want to say, that clip shows you what female stars look like.
Oh,
they're
come on.
Stars.
Marilyn Monroe.
They're stars.
They really are. One of the TV shows that I'm really into. This may sound corny, but I just bought this CD, the Smash.
Oh, Smash.
Have you seen this?
I have not seen.
Have you heard of
Smash.
it?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just bought this like a week ago, Smash, but. Of course, it's Katharine McPhee, and I mean, there's other people singing on it too. Megan Hilty sings on it, but the whole play, the whole TV series is about a play, and they're putting on a Broadway play called Smash, and it's a musical on the life of Marilyn Monroe. And so the whole thing is about who gets the part and all the stuff, the drama that goes into putting on a Broadway play, and it's pretty cool. The season is now over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The season is over, but they ended it great, and I can't wait for next season. But there was all this drama whether Katharine McPhee was going to get the role or not, and she ended up being the understudy. And then at the last minute, the celebrity who they hired, who was played by Uma Thurman, she ends up walking out on the play because she can't sing, or she thinks she's not good. And so they have to put Katharine McPhee in. She doesn't even know all the stuff yet because it's just a preview in Boston. And she goes out there and she does the Marilyn part, and everyone thought Megan Hilty was going to get it because she's blonde. But Katharine McPhee, have you heard of Katharine McPhee?
I saw the previews of the show, and I thought she was terrific.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Katharine McPhee is unbelievable, and she won, or not won. She came in second on American Idol. I believe it was the year 2005 or 2006. On American Idol. That was the year Taylor Hicks won. Katharine McPhee should have won, but now she's doing.
He should have won. Everybody has that. Everybody has that story about American Idol. Here's who won, and here's who should have won. And it's always.
Yeah, I mean, she really should have won compared to, like I say, Taylor Hicks. He's all right, but I mean, she has just got an amazing voice, and she's from L.A. She's a Valley girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, she did a great job in this TV show Smash. But she plays Marilyn. Ronnie, we don't have that clip, do we?
I don't think so.
I don't. I may have done it. Take a look if you would. Go in the folder. I don't think I grabbed it. But you know where you could get it? You could probably get it from YouTube and do a screen capture.
Okay.
Let's do it. Because I didn't rip the clip. As long as we're having fun.
Long as we're having fun.
You want to see Katharine McPhee playing Marilyn Monroe?
Well, sure.
All right, let's see if we can get it.
Sure.
All right, so first thing you got to do, Ronnie, is go to YouTube. And, or you know what? You go to NBC. Yeah, NBC.com. Do that. And, yeah, and then, no, NBC.com, fellas. Okay, and then go to you should got to look up the show Smash. There it is, up there, yep. And it's watch the season online episode videos. We want it's called Don't Forget Me. There it is, right there, yep. All right, and you're going to have to set it up for a screen capture. So while they're setting that up, that's going to take a minute. Again, what I'll do is You'll have to pause it and get it ready. You think you can do it, Ronnie? Yeah. Okay. We got all kinds of tricks here.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. You guys are technically very savvy around here.
Well, you know, I mean, if we knew we were going to do this, we would have had the clip already ripped, and then we would have had it in the system and said, cue it and let's go. Like these other clips are in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of making it up as we go along. We're kind of having a chilling with Ray Megan night tonight because you came around to visit. And I'm really happy you did.
Well, thanks.
I've been really busy lately, and I just didn't have time to properly really prepare a clip for the show, and I was going to turn it into a sports talk show tonight, and you know, which is fine. You know, I love basketball, and we could have talked about the Yankees too or whatever. By the way, anybody who's watching the show right now, and I see we do have a little bit of an audience out there now, so you know, feel free to call in. Ronnie, pop up the numbers if you would. And, you know, I know the numbers are static on the website, but if you want to call in the studio, we'll take your call. And if you want to make a request for a movie clip, if we have the clip, we'll play it. You know,
there you go.
I don't have everything in the system, but I've got quite a few in the system. If you have a particular movie clip you want to see, then we'll play it, okay?
While they're busy capturing this for play... Could we look at another clip that I'd like to look at?
Yeah.
Would that be all right?
Yeah, Ronnie, are you ready with this clip?
Yeah, anytime.
Okay.
Oh, well, since we just did the Maryland, let's do the Maryland because he's ready, and then we'll do your clip.
Oh, okay. Okay,
great. So I'll count this as my clip.
All righty.
Even though it's not on the list.
Fine.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It's not my turn. It's your turn.
It is my turn.
But
it's your show. So all right. It's okay. You can step all over me if you want. It's all right.
Well, all right. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Okay, we're going to show Katharine McPhee.
All righty.
Playing Marilyn in this, you know, fictional play on Broadway, but this is actually in Boston. They haven't got to Broadway yet. They're practicing their play. Okay. And then we're going to go to your choice. Maybe you'll get two choices.
Well, I'll take one choice after.
And then we'll reevaluate. That's called negotiations, folks, okay? That's what we've got going on here.
You drive a hard bargain, Larry.
All right, so what we've got here, this is my girl. I love Katharine McPhee, and she's a girl from the Valley, and she gets the part to play Marilyn, and this is the first opening night, and they're testing everything out on this Boston audience, and it turns out to be pretty good. And this is the last number of the show. This is the closing of the show.
Perfect.
Don't forget about me.
Wow, man.
I'm telling you, the girl has an awesome voice. That's my girl, Katharine McPhee. When she did, that was back in the days when Simon was on American Idol, and Simon gave her the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which, you know, I would say don't sing a Judy Garland song. You know, it's like, you know, you don't want to touch Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey or some of these big ones. You know, to do a Judy Garland song, you better be careful. But she killed it. She put her own little, changed the melody just a little bit, and it was incredible. She sat on the stage and she sang. And to me, I thought that iced the award for her, but, you know, the competition. But it went to Taylor Hicks. He had his Soul Patrol.
Well, but she's got jobs. She's doing well.
Oh,
she is obviously supremely talented. I mean, you know, look at her. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
So what do you got in mind?
Well, they're doing a show. Smash is doing a fictitious show on Broadway, and I want to go to something that is the quintessential show on Broadway.
Okay.
Was on Broadway for many, many, many years and really embodied what Broadway was all about.
Okay.
And the musical is How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Robert Morris starred on Broadway, won more than one Tony, I think. And How to Succeed in Business is just a fabulous musical. And I'd like to hear the song Brotherhood of Man because it's one of my favorites and was a showstopper in the show.
It is.
Has been around for a long time. People still sing it today.
Now, you know that all the songs in that play and then ultimately the movie were written by a gentleman by the name of Frank Lesser.
Yeah.
Frank Lesser is, you know, like an icon in, you know, songwriting. Of course, he wrote the famous duet, you know, for Christmas, "Baby It's Cold Outside," and he would sing that with him and his wife at private parties, and then it became. And his wife was devastated that other people got to start singing that song. Now,
it was their song,
right? And she would perform it at parties. That's the only time she ever sang was with him at parties. But of course, he also wrote all the songs for Guys and Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, he was not the easiest guy to work with. He wanted his singers to project like they're on the Broadway stage, and he and Sinatra got into many fights on Guys and Dolls.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
because Sinatra is not a belter. He's more of a
no.
crooner. I mean, he likes to. And I'm really glad it worked out the way it did, because what Sinatra did in Guys and Dolls was amazing. I mean, these are Frank Lesser songs, but he sang them in the Sinatra way. He ultimately won out. Lesser had walked off more than once, and they brought him back. Goldwyn brought him back, but was able to talk him to coming back. But they call him the Dueling Franks, Frank Lesser and Frank Sinatra.
The Dueling Franks.
But you're absolutely right. How to Succeed in Business was a huge hit on Broadway. Frank Lesser is an absolute legend. He's amazing, and I'm really thrilled that you made this choice.
Oh, yeah.
This is a highlight of the movie for sure, Brotherhood of Man. Great call.
I think I got the whole picture. Now the question is what to do and who to do it to.
Wally, before you make any hasty decisions, I'd like to say a few words.
About what?
About humanity. Now look, even though we're all part of the cold corporate setup, look, deep down under our skins, there's flesh and blood. We're all brothers.
But some of us are uncles.
Now you may join the Elks, my friend, and I may join the Shriners, and other men may carry cards as members of the Diners. Still others wear a golden key or small Greek letter pin. But I have learned there's one great club that all of us are in. There is a brotherhood of man, a benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Your lifelong membership is free. Keep giving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man? Now, Wally, I want you to remember that before you consider firing Mr. Bigley.
Who's considering that? Get the hell out of here.
You see, I know what's on your mind. You'd like to clear out the whole place. I mean, from top to bottom. It's the obvious move, but stop and think. One man may seem incompetent, another not make sense, while others look like quite a waste of company expense. They need a brother's leadership, so please don't do them in. Remember, mediocrity is not a mortal sin. We're in the
brotherhood of man, dedicated to giving all we can.
Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man?
Ow, what'd I do?
No kidding. Is there really a brotherhood of man? On the level of brotherhood of man. Yes, a noble tie that binds all human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Oh, yes, our lifelong membership is free. Keep giving each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity? The great big brother.
like when he's doing.
That's just great, isn't it?
So you were telling me you were saying that you did this play in acting class.
Yeah, I did. I played J.B. Bigley.
Who was the chairman?
The CEO, yeah.
The chairman
the
thing.
CEO, the chairman there.
Fantastic choice. How are we doing on time? We got about 25 minutes here. All right. Well, I think I have time to pick one.
Go.
And then you're going to do one. Well, this will be my last one.
Okay, and then I'll do one.
And then you'll do what you want to do. And then we end every show with Judy Garland.
Ah.
That's
good choice.
I always have to have a little Judy in every show.
Good choice.
Okay. Well, God, I've got so many on this list here. What do I want to do? We've already done Sinatra. I've got Marlon Brando singing.
You do?
Yeah.
From Guys and Dolls?
Yeah. That's a good one, too.
Sky Masterson.
Yeah, I've got him as Sky Masterson. You like Sky Masterson?
I loved Guys and Dolls.
Really?
All those Damon Runyon characters, all that neat, snappy repartee.
Yeah,
I do not know if that is a good thing to do or not.
Right. They do not use contractions. Everything is...
Yeah.
The
Damon Runyon characters.
I understand.
Yeah.
But... God, I have so many from Guys and Dolls, and it's hard to pick one song. But I've got Brando singing, and I've got Sue Me and Adelaide, and but I've also got Rita Hayworth. I've got you want to do Guys and Dolls? You like Guys and Dolls?
I love Guys and Dolls.
All right, let's go. You want to see Sinatra singing, or would you rather see Brando singing?
Let's watch Brando sing.
All right, Brando
Let's
sing.
watch Brando sing.
Brando with Gene Simmons. It's called I'll Know, Maddie.
I'll Know.
You remember this number?
I'll know when my love comes around. I'll know.
Along. Yeah, that's very nicely done. You do remember this?
Yes.
Well, when was the last time you saw this movie?
Many moons.
All right.
Many moons.
Marlon Brando and Gene Hagen. I'm not Gene Hagen. Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Singing in the Rain. And Gene Simmons. You got to love this. Brando actually singing. Check it out.
There he is.
I wonder what he'll be like.
Who?
Oh, that upright, downright, forthright square with his close-shaved chin up, who right now somewhere is marching along the proper approach, the proper you. What'll he be like?
He will not be a gambler, for one thing.
I can name better than you can the things he won't be, but what will he be? Or how will you know when he gets to you?
Don't worry. I'll know.
For I've imagined every bit of him, from his strong moral fiber to the wisdom in his head, to the homey aroma of his pie.
You have wished yourself a small town Galahad, the breakfast-eating four-button type.
And I shall meet him when the time is ripe. I'll know when my love comes along. I won't take a chance, for he'll be just what I need, not some fly-by-night Broadway romance.
And you'll know at a glance by the two pair of pants.
I'll know by his calm, steady voice, those feet on the ground. I'll know as I run to his arms that at last I've come home safe and sound. Until then I shall wait. Until then I'll be strong. For I'll know when my love comes along.
Mine will come as a surprise to me. Mine, I leave to chance and chemistry.
Chemistry?
Yeah, chemistry. Suddenly I'll know when my love comes along. I'll know then and there. I'll know at the sight of her face how I care, how I care, how I care. And I'll stop and I'll stare, and I'll know long before we can speak. I'll know in my heart, I'll know, and I won't ever ask, am I right, am I wise, am I smart? But I'll stop and I'll stare at that face in the throng. Yes, I'll know when my love comes along. Well, that makes it necessary for me to drop back again. Matthew 5:39. Don't bother looking it up. It's the bit about the other cheek.
Well, I love that.
It's a bit about the other cheek,
right,
you know?
First she smacks him across the face. That was awesome, Clarke. Now, technically, that was my pick, but I kind of let you lead me, and I'm glad you did because...
That's a wonderful, wonderful clip.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot get enough of Guys and Dolls. I mean, it's like every number is, like, fantastic. You know, there's, like, 8 good numbers in there. It's not... Like, a lot of these movies, you know, there's
one.
Or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But with Guys and Dolls, it's just every number is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So, listen, I think we have a caller on the line. Lynn, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi, Lynn. This is Lynn from San Clemente, California. Now, how do we know you, Lynn? Is it L-Y-N-E? L-Y-N-N?
I think you can ask Clarke that question.
Okay.
This is my girlfriend, Lynn.
I want to make sure we spell your name correctly on the graphics, Lynn. Is it L-Y-N-N or L-I-N-N?
L-Y-N-N.
Okay. So we're going to fix that, okay? Yeah, what you want to do, Lynn, is you want to actually turn the volume on your computer down because we're working with a delay here.
Uh-huh.
It's probably a 5 or 6 second delay. So we have Lynn from California, and Clarke, I understand this is your lady friend.
This is my lady friend, Lynn, from San Clemente, California. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
I'm enjoying your show. It's hilarious.
Well, thank you. Inky Binky Wum Nums.
What the heck? What does that mean?
Oh, just a little endearment stuff. Thanks for calling into the show. We appreciate it.
Oh, well, this is fun.
Well, Lynn,
I didn't think I'd actually get to talk to you.
Well, Lynn, let me ask you something. Do you like old movies?
I love old movies.
Really?
Yes.
Do you have any favorites?
I love James Dean in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Rebel Without a Cause, one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have something here from Rebel Without a Cause. Ronnie, let's go into the folder. Now we're talking dramatics here, not musical. I like musicals, but I have dramas too.
Well, yeah, I was trying to think of a musical.
But that's okay. Rebel Without a Cause is nice. Let me see. Is there a particular scene in there you want to see?
I don't know how to describe it. The one, there's one where he's like at the museum or something, and he's sitting up on a ledge and he's talking to this girl.
Right. That would be. Let me think about that. That's Natalie Wood, right? Because it's James Dean and Natalie Wood. I'm not sure if I have that scene, but we have, one of the iconic scenes from that movie is when he tells his parents, you stop it, you're making me crazy, or something like that, right? You're driving me crazy.
Yeah,
I like that
that's
scene.
great.
All right, I think we have that, Ronnie. Go back in there for a second, because we didn't have it pulled for tonight, but we're searching the system.
But because of you, Lynn, just for you.
Yeah, so I think what it is the juvenile hall. I think it's juvenile hall, Ronnie. Let's try that.
Okay, we're going to go to it right now, Lynn.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. This is going to be from Rebel Without a Cause. Jimmy Dean, he only made 3 movies and became an absolute icon in American film history. And this is one of his most iconic scenes. This is really at the start of the movie. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, I don't see what's so bad about taking a little drink.
You don't?
No, I definitely
He's
don't.
a minor, Mr. Stark, and it looks to me like he had more than a little drink.
Don't hum, dear.
I got loose pretty good in my day, too.
Oh, really, Frank? When was that?
Can't you wait till we get home?
How about you, Jim? Got anything to say for yourself? Not interested, huh?
Can't you answer? What's the matter with you anyhow?
He's just loaded, honey.
I was talking to Jim.
Well, I'd like to just explain. You see, we just moved here, you understand, and the kid hasn't got any friends, you understand, and we moved into it. Will you hold it, Jim?
Tell him, man, why we moved here.
Will you hold it?
You can't protect me.
Do you mind if I try? Do you have to slam the door in my face? I try to get to him. What happens? Don't I buy you everything you want? A bicycle? You get a bicycle. A car?
You buy me many things.
No. Well, not just buy. We give you love and affection, don't we? Well, then what is it? Was it because we went to that party? Well, you know what kind of drunken brawls those kind of parties turn into. It's not a place for kids.
A minute ago, you said you didn't care if he drinks. He said a little drink.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
That's a fine way to behave.
Well, you know who he takes after.
Oh!
Inside, Jim. Come on. Inside. Excuse us a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Somebody ought to put poison in her Epsom salts.
Grandma?
Oh, get lost.
Hang loose, boy. I'm warning you.
Why don't you wash up and go home? Oh, this is cute.
Big, tough character. You don't kid me, pal. How come you're not wearing your boots?
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
You know, it's too bad you didn't connect. You could have gone to juvenile hall. That's what you want, isn't it?
Well.
Sure it is. You want to bug us till we have to lock you up. Why?
Leave me alone.
No.
I don't know why.
Go on, don't give me that.
Please lock me up. I'm going to hit somebody. I'm going to do something I don't...
Try the disc. Go ahead. that why you moved from the last town? Because you're in trouble?
Oh, they think that they can protect me by moving around all the time.
You had a good start in the wrong direction back there. Why'd you do it?
What do you mean? Mess a kid up?
Yeah.
Called me chicken.
And your folks didn't understand?
They never do. They think that I can make friends if we move, see. Just move. Everything will be roses and sunshine.
But you don't think that's the right solution?
Oh, she eats him alive and he takes it.
Things pretty rough for you at home?
At the zoo.
What?
At the zoo. I mean, he always wants to be my pal, you know? But how can I give him anything if he's... I mean, I love him and all that type of stuff, and I mean, I don't want to hurt him. But then I don't know what to do anymore except maybe die. I mean, if he had guts to knock Mom cold once, then maybe she'd be happy and then she'd stop picking on him. 'Cause they make mush out of him. You know, just mush. No, I'll tell you one thing, I don't ever want to be like him.
Chicken?
I bet you see right through me, don't you? I mean, how can a guy grow up in a circus like that?
Beats me, Jim. But they do. Want some water?
Boy, if I had one day when I didn't have to be all confused and I didn't have to feel that I was ashamed of everything. If I felt that I belonged someplace, you know, then...
Well, Lynn, did you see that? It's finishing.
It's going now.
Yeah, we're on a delay.
Yeah, so it's...
I was trying to listen to both of them. It's really hard.
Right. Well, we did that for you, Lynn, and that was a great call. James Dean, one of the greats of all time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
So how's the weather down there in San Clemente?
Oh, it's gorgeous today. Oh, it's like 75 degrees, just balmy and beautiful.
Uh-huh. I played some softball tournaments down there in San Clemente way back in the 70s. There used to be a restaurant right off the freeway that would mark San Clemente. It was Sambo's. Sambo's isn't there anymore, is it?
It's called Denny's now.
No, there's no Sambo's anywhere.
You don't remember that, do you? She's probably
young, right? It
must
be Denny's now, right?
She's very young.
Oh,
She's very young.
Really?
Yes, I'm robbing the cradle.
Okay. So you haven't been in San Clemente that long? Because I'm telling you right now, people who have been in San Clemente a long time, they would remember that Sambo's.
That's right. No, that predates me. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's how we always knew when we got to the San Clemente off-ramp.
That's right.
We played tournaments down there back in those days. Mm-hmm. So, last thing, Lynn, before we let you go, was there any other requests that you had that we might be able to do for you?
No, this has just been really fun.
Cool. Usually when we do a classic film zone, we take one movie and we feature it, and we might show 3, 4, 5. We've showed as many as 10 clips from a movie, and we talk all about that movie when it was produced, the directors, the awards, and all that. Tonight we're just kind of doing a little bit of a movie clip, war or whatever, a battle of the clips,
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of fun.
Anyway, your man is out here on the road for 10 days. Can you make it without him?
It's a real struggle. I'm just not sure how I can get through the next 10 days.
Well, you're made of strong
or
stuff,
actually
Lynn.
longer than that. I won't see him for probably like 20 days. So
I see. Now, you guys don't do like FaceTime or Skype or anything like that, do you?
No, we haven't. We probably could, though.
We could.
Okay.
Yeah, we could.
Well, you have the iPhones and you do the FaceTime, or
Well, we haven't done that because she doesn't have an iPhone.
Okay.
So, no, we have not.
All right.
We talk on the phone. We both possess telephonic devices.
If you would have video Skype, you could have video Skyped in here tonight, and we could have put you and Clarke on a split screen.
Oh, good Lord. I'm glad I didn't think of that. It's not enough just seeing my name on the screen. I don't have a stage presence like Clarke does.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, Lynn, thank you for calling in, and we're going to be putting a wrap on the show in the next few minutes here. Clarke,
thanks for calling in,
so much.
sweetheart.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Clarke.
All right.
Okay.
Take care now.
Bye, sweetheart.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. That was nice.
All right, beautiful. All right, so I said you would get the last clip of the night before I do my Judy segment. So did you pick one out?
I did. What
do you got?
It's Casablanca.
Oh,
my
nice.
favorite motion picture of all time, Casablanca.
Gotta love Casablanca.
And when I took the class, and the class I'm referring to is Robert McKee's story class, which is the class on writing scripts that all the readers at all the studios have to take. And actors take it, and directors and producers and stuff. He broke down Casablanca. Okay, so it really has a lot of special meaning for me because that was where I was in the room with a lot of luminaries. I was in with Chaz Floyd Johnson, the producer of NCIS. Sitting across from me was Ann Archer.
When was this?
Oh, this was 1985 or 86.
All right, so not that long ago.
Not that long ago for us.
It's only 27 years ago.
That's all. And Ann Archer was there, and Rob Lowe was there, and Michael York was there, and I mean, a lot of luminaries were there. But anyway, Casablanca, these are stars. So please,
and the stars we're talking about, of course, are Humphrey
Bogart,
Ingrid Bergman,
and of course other luminaries in the cast. But this particular scene is that.
You had Paul Henreid, you had Claude Rains, you had
Claude Rains had the best line in the movie.
Well, what clip do we want to show?
Well,
I've got a bunch of clips.
We want to show the Hill of Beans.
Okay, now unfortunately, I do have the Hill of Beans, but the thing is, if you take the whole final scene, it's about an 8-minute clip,
Yeah.
and I remember when I cut it for our movie, I just shortened it to the real key part.
Yeah.
So it's cut off of the Claude Rains finishing line that you're speaking of.
Oh yeah. It's
where they say round up all the usual suspects.
Yeah. Round up all the usual.
Oh, and then
suspects.
after that, he says this is the beginning of a great
friendship.
Yeah, Louis, and he throws the Vichy bottle in the garbage, which is very symbolic of the Vichy government
throwing it away.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
So
But,
Casablanca, let's take a look at this.
It's a short one. This is iconic, an all-timer.
Stars.
Louis, have your man go with Mr. Laszlo and take care of his luggage.
Certainly, Rick. Anything you say. Try Mr. Laszlo's luggage and put it on the plane.
Yes, sir. This way, please. If you don't mind, you fill in the names. That'll make it even more official.
You think of everything, don't you?
And the names are Mr. and Mrs. Victor Laszlo.
Why my name, Richard?
Because you're getting on that plane.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard, no. What has happened to you? Last night
Last night we said a great many things. You said I was to do the thinking for both of us. Well, I've done a lot of it since then. It all adds up to one thing. You're getting on that plane with Victor where you belong.
But, Richard, no,
Now, you've got to listen to me. You have any idea what you'd have to look forward to if you stayed here? 9 chances out of 10, we'd both wind up at a concentration camp. Isn't that true, Louis?
I'm afraid Major Strasser would insist.
You're saying this only to make me go.
I'm saying it because it's true. Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. You're part of his work, the thing that keeps him going. If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have. We lost it until you came to Casablanca. We got it back last night.
When I said I would never leave you.
And you never will. But I've got a job to do, too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Ilsa, I'm no good at being noble, but it doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that. Now. Here's looking at you, kid.
There you go. There's stars. Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman.
Iconic scene for sure of all time. Well, listen, Clarke, it's been really fun. Now, what we do is we end every show with a quick Judy Garland segment. And for me, you saw, Judy over my fireplace.
You do, yeah.
For me, growing up, my mom loved Judy Garland, and it was every Friday night when it was the Judy Garland show, we'd sit around and watch that. My dad loved Nat King Cole, and so for whatever reason, Judy speaks to me. But when you see her in her movies, there's no perfect Judy Garland movie, okay? Because they're all kind of flawed in some way or another, really. But there's always at least one, sometimes two or three great Judy moments in all of her films. And I find those moments to be inspirational, and also her TV shows. So Always Chasing Rainbows is our final segment. We're going to go to it, and it's about always keep following your dreams and keep pursuing your goals. And that
Very
kind of
good.
So let's do it, guys. Right. For tonight, since we're showing a bunch of movie clips, I thought what I'd do is show, instead of one of her TV shows or concert clips, I'd show something from one of her all-time movies. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with Easter Parade, guys. And some great moments in that one. But really, one of my favorites is when she does a duet. Now, of course, in Easter Parade, her co-star is Fred Astaire. Now, it was supposed to be Gene Kelly. And Gene Kelly, who Judy had a great, great friendship with Gene Kelly, and she helped get him started and everything in the movie business. But Gene Kelly broke his ankle literally just a couple of days before they were to begin shooting.
Oh, wow.
That's how close to the shooting it was. He was really a sportsman, and he would have friends over his house in L.A. and play volleyball games and tennis and everything. And they were playing volleyball, and he broke his ankle. And at that time, Fred Astaire was retired. He had been retired for close to 2 years. And as a favor, to Gene Kelly, they had originally called him and he said, "Oh, you guys can wait for Gene Kelly to heal up."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to take Gene Kelly's spot. Gene himself got on the phone and said, "Fred, you've got to do this." And Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire came out of retirement because he wanted to do a picture with Judy Garland. He had never done a picture with Judy Garland. Now, of course, they end up, that's the love interest, and he's like 30 years older than her.
He's way older than her.
Yeah, but
But
as a tribute to their acting ability, they made it believable.
Mm-hmm. That's because they're stars, and that's what they're paid to do.
Well, you just said your girlfriend was much younger than you.
Much younger.
Okay. So it happens.
It happens.
Especially
happens all the time.
It happens all the time. So anyway, some great numbers in there, a couple of swells and, a bunch of them. But the premise on the movie is Ann Miller is one of my all-time favorites. She's in that movie too. And she's originally Fred Astaire's dance partner. And then she goes off and does her own contract and leaves him. And he says, "I can teach anybody how to dance." And he meets Judy Garland in this little kind of restaurant bar where she's dancing, but she's really a singer, but she's dancing with the chorus when he met her, so he didn't know she was a singer. So he thought he could teach her to dance, and of course she's a horrible dancer. Now, in real life, Judy was a great dancer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And but in the script, she's Hannah Brown, she's got 2 left feet, and she doesn't know her right from her left, and it's kind of, Judy's a great comedy actress, by the way. Well, anyway, he tries to make a dancer out of her, and to show that he doesn't need Ann Miller. I can teach anybody to dance, and it's just not working. And he's trying to teach her as if she was a ballroom dancer like Ann Miller. It's not working, and so he said, "You know what? I know what the problem is. The problem is you're trying to be somebody else." He says, "She says I'm trying to be somebody. I'm doing what you tell me to." He says, "Never mind that." He says, "Let me hear you sing." And he didn't hear her sing when they first met because he had already left the restaurant, and then she went up on stage and sang. And then he realizes, oh, she's a singer, and then they rise to fame in the old vaudeville days as a great, vaudeville act with dancing and singing. But he didn't know. So this is the seminal moment when he discovers that she's really a singer. Okay?
Lovely.
It's from Easter Parade. You guys have it ready? That's it. Let's check it out.
Miss Brown, one of the first rules of this business is to be punctual. You're a half hour late.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I got caught in the rain. If it hadn't been
I said
for
all right, didn't I? Now, I have something very important to talk to you about. I found out what's the matter with our act.
You did?
Yes. You've been trying to be somebody else.
I've been trying to what?
Well, look at you.
What's the matter with me?
Oh, that dress.
Well, I've tried to explain to you.
Hat.
I knew I wouldn't look good
The way
with
you
the
move
thing.
when you do your numbers.
You told me to move like that.
All right. I've changed my mind. From now on, you're going to be yourself. You're going to be perfectly natural.
I am?
You're going to start right from the beginning. There'll be no more fancy dresses and la-di-da business. There is no more Juanita. From now on, you're just plain Hannah Brown.
Whatever you say.
Do you know this song?
Yes.
I'd like to hear you sing it, please.
All right.
Get over there where I can see you, please.
I love the piano, I love the piano, I love to hear somebody play upon a piano, a grand piano, it simply carries me away. I know a fine way to treat a Steinway. I love to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal, I love to meddle when Paderewski comes this way. I'm so delighted if I'm invited to hear the long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow, give me a P-I-A-N. Oh, 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 I love to stop right beside an upright or a high-tone baby grand.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Is it?
Wonderful. That's great.
Yes, I know it.
Good girl. Cross. That's fine. Now, around. Oh, yes.
I love to stop right beside an upright or a high-tone baby grand. All night long he calls her Snooky Ookums, Snooky Ookums. All they do is talk like babies. She's his jelly Ellie roll.
He's her shuggy ooger bowl. Here's the way they bill and coo. Pudgy woo, pudgy woo, pudgy woo.
All night long he calls her Snooky Ookums, Snooky Ookums. All night long the neighbors shout, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. They cry, for goodness sake, don't keep us all awake with your snooky, ooky, ooky, baby talk.
All right, there you have it. Clark, what do you think?
Beautiful, beautiful. Aren't they fantastic?
Did you like Judy Garland?
I love Judy Garland. Always have.
You know,
Always
she's from
have.
Minnesota.
Is she?
Yeah, there's actually a Judy Garland museum up in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. It's like 3 hours from here.
Grand Rapids, Minnesota, or Grand Rapids, Michigan?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Grand Rapids,
Okay.
Minnesota.
All
And
right.
it's about 2.5 or 3 hour drive from here. I've never driven up there yet.
But
It's
you
the house-
will.
Well, eventually, it's the house where she was born and
Ah.
raised before they moved to California. She was still pretty young when they moved to California. But yeah, you know. So remember. Well, before I get to that, I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
No,
It was
man,
a lot of fun,
thanks
Larry.
for swinging
Lot of
by.
fun.
It was an unexpected pleasure to have you here. Are you going to be able to come back here before you go?
No, I'm going to be next Thursday, and next Thursday night I'm going to be in Moline, Illinois, and then Friday night I'm going to be back here, and then Saturday is all the stuff, and then I leave on Father's Day on Sunday. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, everybody, just remember, always keep pursuing your goals, keep chasing those rainbows, never give up. Until next week, I'm Larry Megan. Peace, love, and all good things.
Chill with Larry Megan.